guys, good to see you again. Welcome back to the channel. Well, it's just after first light, it's about 6:30 now, and I feel like whispering because I don't want to disturb the bird song. It's absolutely beautiful. But it's a lovely morning so far. A bit flat, nothing going on atmospherically, but it's just great to be out. As you can see, I'm on a spot. I came across this area a couple of weeks ago on a foggy morning, just before I nipped off to work, and some lovely atmosphere. I've got some nice frames. Obviously we ain't got the fog today or anything, or no mist, but I thought I'd nip back down here, have a good scout round. I didn't walk far last time, and I'm going to carry on with the leading lines theme after the moss coloured wheelings that I photographed last week, and try and use this track if I can and lead the viewer's eye through the frame. That's what I want to try and create today. Carry on that leading lines theme and see if I can find a few compositions where your eye is led from the foreground of the frame right into the back of the frame, using this track if I can, or something similar. So let's go and see what we can find. Well, quite a nice composition this actually. Still on the track. I'm thinking a bit the track does turn into more of a grassy track, but I'm using this as a leading line, obviously, like I said earlier. Bit of an S-bend, a bit of a curve, and it does go over a bit of a peak. So I've got the camera body as high as I can possibly get it, just so that I can see over that peak. So at the track, it hardly disappears and then leads your eye off to the back of the frame again. I say it's a bit of a twist in an S-bend. On the 70-200, I'm at about 135mm. 1/6 of a second, f11, light's pretty flat. The sun did just peek through the clouds for a second or two. I managed to get 1 or 2 frames, but I wasn't quite right for the composition, so we'll have a look at that in a bit. But again, I'm going to be working in post, bit of vignette, and try and get the viewer's eye up this path, up this track, all the way through the frame and out the other end. Might have to just lighten the end of the track a bit, just so that it really attracts your eye through the whole of the scene. But it's a really nice scene with these beech and ash trees that line this track. Lovely good wide bit of grass, so it's a lovely leading line all the way through the image. And yeah, the sun did come out. I don't think it's going to come out again. I have been hanging about for about 10 minutes, but there was just a little band of obviously thin cloud that the sun peeked through as it was rising, and it did catch the side of these trees. But never mind, I'll hang about for a bit longer, but I don't think there's going to be any more light now. But I focused sort of 3/4, just over the peak, just over the brow where the track almost disappears. I focused there, obviously on live view again, and then manually focused on that area. But I'm at f11, so the majority of the frame should be sharp. I did think about focus stacking, but I don't think you need to on this one. I'm going to add a bit of vignette and hopefully draw the eye through the frame anyway. So it doesn't matter if the foreground is a little bit soft and the back of the frame is a little bit soft. That's not too much of an issue. But yeah, that's the first frame in the bag. Quite happy with it, and let's go and see what else we can find. Wow, what a quirky looking beach that is. Can you see that there, look? That's definitely one for a misty, foggy morning. No good today because there's no separation, but definitely one to log, that is. What a great looking tree. Obviously been damaged at some point perhaps or something, but yeah, proper gnarly looking beach that, with its twists and turns. But yeah, remember that one for a foggy day. Smashing. Hate to see that graffiti on the trees. Such a shame. I've just come across a lovely old beech tree with lots of overhanging branches that are all catching the light. The branches are covered in, you know, light green moss, and although it's pretty flat, the sun does keep trying to shine through lighter patches of cloud, and every now and again there's some nice light falling on the branches, and it's my sort of mood. And again, hopefully in post I'll be able to just enhance them lighter tones a bit and the lighter greens. There's a lovely area of light bark on the trunk as well, so should be able to make a nice moody frame. There's an oak just behind it which adds a bit of depth to the frame itself because it's a lot darker of a colour, and bit of grass in the foreground. I'm going to try and crop that out, I think, if I can. And I'm quite lucky that behind the beech is quite a tall canopy, so I've managed to include quite a lot of the tree itself in the frame, obviously trying to cut the sky out because I don't want to get any highlight tones in the image if I can. It's nothing spectacular, but I think it's my sort of mood, and it's just great to find new trees really. But hopefully it'll make a nice frame. I'm well back. I'm about, I don't know, 80 or 100 yards back from the tree itself, again on the 70 to 200 at 135mm, something like that, f11, and I'm at 13th of a second shutter speed exposure, and yeah, I think it'll make a nice frame. This, obviously I'm at f11, so most of it's going to be sharp. I've focused on the overhanging branches just towards me, away from the trunk a bit, and yeah, a bit of vignette, and work on them highlight tones, and try and darken the background off a little bit so I really emphasise them branches, and should make a nice frame hopefully. I'll pop it up now, guys. Well, I've made my way off that track. So much for making it a leading lines video, but there's so much to explore. Can't help myself, but I've just climbed up this bit of an area, and I'm thinking, as you can see, it's quite just densely populated with mainly ash and a few beech, but quite well separated. So I'm thinking on a low cloud day, the clouds and a little bit of mist might just hug these trees more than in the lower areas nearer to home, and might make a nice atmospheric shot. So I'm just going to go for a wander around here and see if I can plan ahead for any nice compositions of anything on a misty day. Spot on. How about this for a quirky looking beech? Unfortunately, the ash next to it has dropped quite a big branch off, and it's fallen on top of the, there's a big branch just sitting there, so unfortunately it's a little bit of an ugly scene, but it's a right gnarly looking beech, that one. Perhaps one day in a foggy conditions or something it might make a nice frame. There's a composition here somewhere, I'm sure. But, I'm finding them slowly. Getting there with this frame, definitely. And the reason I like this frame so much is because at the end of the frame, or through the end of the frame, the end of the composition, where my eye finishes is a nice light area, a naturally light area. Obviously it's quite open at the other side of this little plantation, so that's what drew my eye to it. Obviously I've got that leading line again, not quite the track, but a nice, a well-trodden footpath, if you like, with the leaves that are pushed aside. So that's a nice leading line. Got lots of young beech trees either side of the path, a couple of pines, and the other thing that I really like about this composition is the overhanging branches that create a bit of a nice natural frame to this composition. So I've got my leading line, I've got them branches that are catching the light lovely actually. There's a lovely beech tree to my right here, and it's a lovely light coloured bark, and that's catching the light really well. Same on the left hand side, and those overhanging branches just encroach on the frame nicely. That's a nice composition. As you can see, I've put the camera as high as I can possibly get it again, just to eliminate as much sky as I can. I'm at f11, 15th of a second exposure, ISO 100. What am I at? I can't even see. I'm quite far out, so I'm only at about 70mm, 75mm this time, just to get as many of these trees on either side of this path as I can. Now I've opted for a 16:9 aspect ratio for this one, just to take as much of the sky and the highlighted tones out of the frame as I can, keep it as wide as I can, and keep them trees, as many of the trees as I can, that obviously create this nice tunnel effect that leads your eye through the frame from start to finish. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. I've put it onto a 10-second shutter delay as well, because when it's at full extension like this, there's a heck of a lot of wobble. Even if I'm just touching the screen just to take a shot, I'm still leaving it 10 seconds just for everything to settle down before it takes the exposure. And yeah, we're getting there with this one. Hopefully in post again, I keep going on about post-processing, there it goes, 10-second delay. Post-processing, I'll be able to bring out these highlighted tones. I probably won't do much with the end of the frame because it is a lovely light colour anyway, but it certainly catches your eye. It caught my eye. I was just walking through and I saw this footpath, small, 100 yards long probably, and with that light area at the end. So we're getting there with this frame, and I'm quite happy with that. So and as I've been walking around here, I'm obviously having a scout around anyway, and I've spotted a few other nice trees. So yeah, all in all, it's been a good morning. But anyway, I hope you like this, guys. I'll pop it up now. Well, job's a good one. Thoroughly enjoyed this morning again. Some nice images there. Probably like that last one the best, I'd say. It's got, you know, the lead in line with the footpath and the light at the end of the composition, and the pretty symmetrical beech and pine trees leading your eye through the frame. So yeah, pleased to found that. Good bit of scouting about again. And that higher ground that I found earlier on this morning as well, that'll be good on a nice foggy day if the mist is hugging them trees that's just a bit higher up on the hill there. So yeah, all in all, another productive and good scouting session. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that, guys. If you could remember to give the video a thumbs up, give it a like, that'd be much appreciated. Let YouTube know that you enjoy the content on the channel, and subscribe if you haven't yet, that'd be appreciated too. Well, have a good week, guys, and I'll catch up next week. Thanks for watching, take care, catch up soon.